Welcome back to Let's Play Master of Orion. I'm Get Daved. So, I gave a pretty hefty promise last time that we were going to beat this game and design a super ship. So, let's get started, shall we? Oh, let's build food. Who cares? Technically the best ship you can make would be a Doomstar, but I kind of like the, more normal sizes ones. I think there's something cool about using battleships. So, Achilles targeting unit is an absolute must. It basically doesn't quite have the damage you need to do, but support. Automated repair unit, kind of optional at this point. I'll maybe put one on later. Battle scanner I will put on because I'm going to be using auto-fire weapons, and really agile ships could dodge it. Damper field is kind of it's a bit of a preference thing. I'm going to put it on there. It definitely makes you more vulnerable to some things, like ion pulse cannons. They don't do much damage, but they hit straight to your systems when you have dampering fields on, so that's bad. And emissions guidance missiles can be really dangerous at this, so you gotta watch out for those. I'm gonna put it on, because this is for fighting Antarans. Also note, I don't have a shield anymore, because I have a damper field instead. So this ship will take 3/4 damage, has no shield anymore. High energy focus, 50% more beam damage, absolutely. HyperX capacitors, definitely worth it. And we're going to do a couple different looks. We're going to do one of the phasing cloak, which I will show, and we're going to give it a time warp facilitator. And you know what? We don't have enough awesome to go around, so we're going to cut out damper field. I'm going to put structural analyzer on there, because that gives you a huge offensive bonus, and we will give it a shield. Because we've miniaturized our class 10 shield to be quite small now. Alright, and the weapons are quite simply going to be a crap load of heavy mount auto fire disruptors. And I will put on a couple normal auto fire disruptors, and maybe we'll we'll do forward extended. Give it a slightly broader firing arc just so we can pick off missiles more effectively with them. And Nemesis, that's not a good name. What's a good name? We'll go Athena. It's kind of cliche to stick to the Greek goddesses and gods, but I'm also going to build one other. I'm going to give you a slightly different look. We're not going to be building this anytime soon. Very similar start. Achilles targeting unit, of course. Battle pods, of course. Battle scanner, I do think you just need it. High energy focus, HyperX capacitors. Structural analyzer, and you always have a bit of room for the last system. I'm going to go with, we'll do the inertial nullifier. It's kind of easy to hit with other stuff, so that'll give it some extra evasion. Also notice that we had 215 space left for weapons on a battleship. At the beginning of the game, they only have 250 space. So we've miniaturized things that much. The battle pods left room for all the systems, and mega fluxes, of course, gave us a bit more space. And I'm going to build this as a Titan as well. Load it up with auto fire disruptors, and just for fun, we're going to show you a couple of the other weapons. So particle beams, they're pretty good. I'll put a death ray on there. Realistically, if you want the best ship, you just got to load it up with disruptors. Smaller devices, you've seen those. I've been using them on my star bases because I have to. I guess now that I have Death Ray, they'll put that on instead. Phaser, you can do some awesome things that I didn't really go for, but heavy mount auto fire phasers are very effective. You can throw shield piercing on if you want to screw with your enemies a bit. I really recommend them as a potential awesome weapon for the entire game. Sometimes I use them instead of disruptors because I feel a bit more indie and cool. And Xeon missiles, yeah, we can't really do anything good with them. Plasma webs are interesting. They're annoying when they get done to you. They envelop your entire ship in plasma. You get hit by a plasma attack, so it envelops your whole ship, hits all 4 shield arcs, and it stays on you. It gets weaker over time. It lasts, I think, 3 turns, but you can keep putting plasma webs on an enemy ship, so that can be quite annoying. Spatial compressors you've seen my enemies use on me. They emit a pulse that damages things, same as the pulsar. Stellar Converter, I've used heavy fighters. All the fighters are kind of the same, just subtle differences. Heavy fighters are equipped with bombs, so they can fire off that instead. Bombers are equipped with bombs, same diff. That's all I really want to talk about. You can screw up ships kind of bad with the gyro destabilizer. Maybe I'll show that one. Those are most effective early in the game. Yeah, and we'll just call that one a Nemesis. It's closer to a non-cheap ship that I would build, but we'll toss it out there. And what I'm going to do... I guess I'm not going to get around to beating the game in this video. What I'm going to do is attack a planet with our new ships. Abstain. Alright. Sweet. Build me some more Invincibles. The Athena we can already fit more firepower on just from that last bit of miniaturization. That's cool. I don't want to... The Invincible you could probably get a lot more on, but we've kind of passed the point of when it matters. And just for added impact, I'm actually going to move that fleet back, because I want to put my leaders on those two ships. Might as well give them a good pimp their ride, you know. Athena, you get 2 lock. What was the other one I built? Yeah, it's this Nemesis. You get Jared, you'll do some damage that way. Alright. Technically, we could do more damage with these if we refit them and then made them, gave them elite crews that way. But, you know, this should be a good enough demonstration. I'm actually going to change course. Looks like they got a fleet there. Pretty big one. We'll warm up against them. So, this ship has a phasing cloak. Now, first things first, don't use its first turn. I'm just going to hit done, and you'll understand why in a minute. And this guy goes. I'll save the disruptors for last, but particle beam, disruptor, plasma cannon. Showcase plasma cannon first here. It's most effective when somebody's got their shields down, but it did damage to all 4 of those arcs, so that was actually 54 damage to each one. That's pretty awesome. They dissipate their range. They weaken as they travel, is what I'm trying to say. Has phasers and took 5 of them to blow up a Titan, that's pretty good. Shield piercing, armor piercing because of the Achilles targeting unit. Gyro disruptors are interesting. It spins them and they end up pointing a random direction and it damages straight to the structure. So, shields can't stop it, armor can't stop it, and you can... Early in the game it matters so much because you can blow up enemy ships without really having to deal with most of their defenses. I don't know if you'll recall, early in the game, I had a hard time getting through a certain ship's shields, and we had a long standoff, and I eventually just ran away because I was still losing. Oh, auto-fire disruptors. This is 15 of them. 1350 damage to a planet. That's pretty good. Alright, now, this guy has something called a Time Warp Facilitator on it, so he's going to get 2 back-to-back turns now. Now, this works really well with things like the HyperX capacitor. I sound like such a nerd saying all these things. I am such a nerd, I'm explain. So it gets to fire twice, you need to take a turn off to recharge. Well, you can spend that turn recloaking your ship, you know, if we ever get there. And we almost destroyed everything on this planet just from pasting it. Alright. Finn. Alright, we're going to fly them to Orion, and next video, we're going to send just those 2 ships to attack Antares. Whoops, I guess we should fly them to Sol instead. We're going to send just those 2 ships to attack Antares, and we'll see how it goes. So, I'm going to hit the save. I'm accidentally saving over the autosave over and over. Alright, we'll attack Antares and see what happens next time on Let's Play Master of Orion 2.